everyone, welcome to PLP News. I'm Kit.
And I'm Addi, and we've got an action-packed episode for you today, full of the latest happenings around our school.
We're kicking off today's show with Alana and Tori covering the trunk or treat, followed by Ellie talking about our volleyball team's great success, and after that, our homecoming football game recap with Emma and Claire.
Next, we'll have the weather forecast with Brody once again, and we'll wrap up the show with everybody's favorite part.
That's right, back for another segment, we have Jokes with Henry. So sit back and relax because we're diving right into this week's show. This is Pine Lake News starting now.
First up, we have some Halloween fun with the trunk or treat taking place. Let's check in with Alana and Tori to get more details on this exciting event.
Hello Pride, I'm Alana.
And I'm Tori.
Pine Lake Prep hosted its annual trunk or treat event on Wednesday, October 29th from 4 to 6 p.m.
Different clubs and honor societies decorated their own trunks, offering candy and fun activities for families and students to enjoy.
It was a great way to celebrate Halloween, spend time with friends, and see some creative trunk designs.
We hope everyone had fun this Wednesday.
Thanks Alana and Tori for informing us all about the trunk or treat. Be sure to be there. Now let's take a moment to listen in on what our girls varsity volleyball team has been up to.
Hi, my name is Ellie Cox, and I'm here with Kit Verlander to talk about volleyball success this season. So, Kit, what's it like being on a team that's so successful?
It is really amazing, and it feels so good that we've gotten this far. We're going to state championships on Saturday. We're playing at NC State, which is really cool to get to play in a college gym. It's like capturing lightning in a bottle. This team has just been so exciting, so energetic, and I've just loved to just be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be the first state title you've ever won, to be a big thing for Pine Lake.
Cool.
What do you think has been the most important factor of the team this season?
I honestly think our energy has carried us through every single game. The skill is certainly there. We have so many talented people, especially our seniors. I mean, Phoenix, Sophie, Reese, Kate, Peyton, all of them. They're just so incredibly talented. But one thing that really carries us through from game to game is our energy and our motivation that comes not just on the court, but also from the sidelines.
Nice. What has been the most exciting part about this season so far?
This is generic, but it's really fun to win. And it's been so exciting just to see us get this far, especially in the state playoffs. Mm-hmm. We've never gotten past the second round before, so the chance to even just compete for a state title is just so exciting, and I'm just so excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, everyone is. What's been the most difficult part about this season so far?
I know I said energy has been a big, important part of our wins, but also that our energy has impacted how we've played when we've lost. So one of the things I'd say we struggled with that was difficult was in the middle of our season, we had a little bit of dip in our energy. So that was definitely a rough patch, but we got over it and now we're stronger and better than ever.
Awesome. So what do you think the biggest part about Saturday's game will be?
I think one thing we really need to remember for Saturday's game is to stay locked in till the very end of the game. We've had so much success so far, but we can't let that get to our heads, and we can't let ourselves think we're better than we are because our opponent, Aiden Griffiths, is really good. Yeah. So we just need to stay locked in until the very last second. You know, it's Halloween, fun weekend, but we just need to make sure keep our eyes on the prize. So going into that game on Saturday, that's just one thing we're really going to need to focus on. But I think overall, I'm so proud of our team. This is really something we've deserved. We've worked so hard to get to this goal. I mean, everyone has contributed. So I'm just really excited for Saturday, and I know we're going to do great regardless of the outcome.
Well, we wish you the best of luck Saturday. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie, and be sure to wish the volleyball team good luck for their state championship game at NC State on this Saturday.
Moving on, now we're going to recap our homecoming football game. Emma and Claire, take it away.
What a game last week, Claire. Pine Lake Prep absolutely crushed it, setting a new season high score with a 44-21 win over Lincoln Charter.
Seriously impressive, Emma. Sophomore running back Logan Pettit was unstoppable, a 191 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged over 7 yards per carry. That's huge.
Totally. And the team as a whole racked up 262 rushing yards. That's way above their usual average of just 93 per game earlier this season.
Plus, this win snapped their 5-game home losing streak. Now they're 2-7, while Lincoln Charter drops 3-6 after losing 4 of their last 5.
Next up, Pine Lake Prep faces the CSD Spartans on Thursday night, and Lincoln Charter plays Lake Norman Charter Friday.
If Pineland keeps the energy, especially in the run game, they might just finish their season strong. That's all for us tonight.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
This week has lots of information thrown at us. Thanks! Moving on, let's not forget about the weather. Brody is coming up next with a weekend weather forecast, so you'll know what to expect before you head out into this fun Halloween weekend.
Hello, I'm Brody Hackey with your weekend weather forecast. We should be having some wonderful sunny skies on Friday with a high of 62 degrees and a low of 35. Definitely getting a bit chilly out there, but it's still pretty good weather for trick-or-treating. Saturday looks similar with a high of 61 degrees and a low of 42. Expected to be a bit chilly that morning. On to Sunday, where the consistent weather continues with a 61 degree high and a 40 degree low. Make sure to expect a few clouds here and there as well. Until next time, I'm Brody Hack, and this has been your weekend weather forecast. Happy Halloween, folks.
Well, that's North Carolina for you. And last, but definitely not least, we can always count on Henry to bring us a good laugh. Stick around for the weekly joke. It's the perfect way to wrap things up.
Hi, I'm Bella. Today I'm here with Henry to listen to the joke of the day.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Why?
Because of 7, 8, 9.
Thank you.
Henry kills it every time. But before we conclude today's show, we have an important PSA about Cybersecurity Month.
Prevent getting attacked. We talk a lot about fishing, but what exactly is spearfishing?
Good question. Regular fishing is like casting a wide net. It's a generic email sent to thousands of people. Spearfishing is a targeted strike. It's an email crafted specifically for you or for a small group in your community.
So it's personalized.
Exactly. Attackers use public information such as your name, job title, and company projects to make the email look incredibly legitimate and urgent. They want to steal credentials or install malware. The danger is in the sense of urgency. A spearfishing email might appear to be from your manager or a senior executive, someone you can't ignore. The subject line will often create a crisis.
Like, urgent payroll documents need review?
Perfect example. Or, I need you to quickly wire funds for this confidential acquisition. They create pressure so you skip the critical steps.
How can I tell a spearfishing email from a real urgent request?
The first rule is always check the sender's actual email address. Don't just look at the display name. Hover your mouse over the name or click to expand the address.
So if it says J. Smith, but the email is jsmith123@genericmail.com, that's a red flag?
Huge red flag. A legitimate company email should come from the official company domain. The address is the weakest link for the attacker. The second rule is suspicion. If an email, especially when asking for sensitive information, contains a link or attachment, treat it as dangerous.
Even if it's from someone I know?
Yes, the attacker might have compromised that internal account. Never click a link in an urgent email. Instead, open a new browser window and go to the official website directly. If it's about a document, call the sender on a trusted number to confirm they sent it. Spearfishing relies on you trusting a false sense of urgency.
So the best defense is to slow down and verify everything.
Exactly. Verify the sender, verify the request. And if anything feels even slightly off, report it to IT and trust that feeling. No urgent task is worth compromising our security. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Before you open another email, take the pause and protect pledge. When you get any urgent email, you will stop for 5 seconds, hover over the sender's email, and then double check the request. If you're still unsure, even a little bit, forward that email to our school's IT department immediately. Do not click, do not reply, pause and protect. We'd rather get 100 false alarms than have one successful attack. You are the final and most important layer.
And that concludes today's episode of PLP Upper School News. Let's recap what we covered. We highlighted the trunk or treat, girls volleyball team success, and lastly, the homecoming football game. Don't forget, you can tune in every week at noon to catch the latest edition of PLP Upper School News. We're here to keep you informed and engaged with all the things happening around our school. And for those who want to stay up to date with all the live sports action, be sure to check out fan.huddle.com and PLP TV. There's always something thrilling going on, so you don't want to miss it. I'm Addi. And I'm Kit. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week with more news and updates. Signing off for PLP News. See you next time.